Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age, The Devil and the Doves. This is Chapter 18 of Book 1, and our final episode of this book. If you've been enjoying this so far, I want to thank you for sticking this out. This was originally designed to be around a 12-episode game, and it kind of ballooned out because of some life circumstances, so it's great to have you here. If you have not watched this episode, I want to tell you to go back, start from the beginning, and we'll be waiting here for you when you get back, especially if you wait for the VOD or the YouTube release. Now, with that out of the way, hi, I'm your storyteller, Kelly. Are you seeing him? And I am very excited to be here tonight at the end of the road. Now, before we go around, introduce ourselves beyond me, and give some quick announcements, I just wanted to let everybody know that Mage the Ascension the Victorian Age is a game intended for mature audiences. It has a number of things in it that may be sensitive for certain audience members. And there's no shame with that. Everybody has a different life experience. So if in this game there are going to be themes of sexuality, themes of tragedy, trauma, and violence, as well as scenes of horror. We're going to try to keep it around the level of a rated R movie, but if anything throughout this experience kind of twigs you the wrong way, take some time away. We're going to be here when you get back, and, well, I mean, we'll be waiting for you. Take care of yourself, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy the experience when you're feeling a little bit more grounded. With that said, let's go around in a big circle and say hello, starting with Christine.
Hello, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I play Dr. Evelyn Taylor, our Society of Ether member.
All right, over to Amy.
Hello, I am Amy. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I am playing Chastity, Prudence, Goodwin, the Celestial Chorister / Cult of Ecstasy member.
All right, down to Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen, and I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Josephine Carrington, our Order of Hermes Bene Tharsis, who also uses she, her pronouns, if she cares.
Fantastic. And then finally, last but not least, let's go say hello to Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns, as does our slightly broken member of the Verbena. Thank you. Verbena. Why can't I say it?
I'm here for you.
I've got the Nay song going through my head now. Thank you very much, Robin.
Nay.
Now watch Verbena. Verbena. Yeah. It was last episode was fine. Nothing went wrong. It was fine. I didn't just lose my mentor. It's fine. And almost thought I lost my cat.
All right. Well, your cat's fine, at least.
He is. I'm just actually going to grab him right now because he's just behind my other monitor.
All right, so folks.
This describes our mood right now.
Bran is grumpy. All right, so I see a couple of new people in the chat right now who are watching us live. Quick warning, there's a lot of stuff coming that's not going to make any sense. Hope you enjoy the ride. With that in mind, I have a couple quick announcements. First is tomorrow on our Patreon, you are going to be invited to an exclusive game ran by Robin. It is Passions de las Passions, a telenovela role-playing game using the Powered by the Apocalypse engine that consists of all of us and Traz.
Yeah, I realized I forgot to grab something from you for this game.
What'd you agree to grab?
The NPC cards.
Oh, we'll come get them tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask you about that because I told you I was reading through the module.
You were literally
again.
in my house today. You should have just gotten them.
I know, I forgot because I was reading after we hung out.
I'm gonna keep the Passions de las Passions dice though, and use them for myself.
Ooh, there's dice.
You don't need dice. You're the game master.
Yeah.
You don't. All right. The other thing is that for the first time ever, in the month of March, we have a sponsor, like an actual paid official sponsor, and that is Bookwyrm Games. They're a Vancouver, Abbotsford-based company that does dice, edible dice, gaming consumables, and a special new thing that they're working on called a quest chest, which I have been erroneously calling a chest quest, which sounds like something that sounds like a raunchy like teen comedy from the 90s. I'm on a chest quest, right? Or alternatively, me when I'm trying to get my pecs back after 3 years of not going to the gym. But no, it is Quest Chest. So you go to questchest.info to find out more about Bookwyrm Games' new project. In short, it is a system agnostic game in a box that fits any fantasy-based role-playing engine that you can play it under. Everything from D&D 5e to Pathfinder, theoretically to the beer engine from Ninja Burger could run under it. It has handouts, it has sometimes consumables, curated music, and enough to keep a table busy for 1 to 8 sessions, depending on whether or not your cast is particularly quick. Knowing most D&D groups that I've played with, that's a good 4 or 5 sessions at least. So go ahead and go to questchest.info. I didn't do it. I succeeded. And check that out right now. Or if you go to their website, Michael, the proprietor, has emailed me today and told me to let you all know that all of their stock is back in stock right now. I know a lot of you were waiting until they had a restock after going to Emerald City Comic Con and Vancouver Fan Expo. They're all back in stock, and if you use Dorktales 2023, which is our personal code, they'll know that we sent you. You'll save 10%, and that code might be valid next month too, if they want to keep our sponsorship going, which we'll tell you more about that soon. And finally, they have some of the most reasonable dice on the market. So if you do purchase more than 100 Canadian worth of things, shipping's free. And that's pretty great because their prices are real good. And I don't know, like, get some dice for yourself. Treat yourself.
Also, hi in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, is he there?
Yeah, hi in the chat.
Hello. I informed them that it was not a chest question, but in fact a quest full of chest. Or a quest in a chest, I guess would be my mnemonic for remembering that. Sorry about that. But thank you so much for being our sponsor, Michael and Bookwyrm Games. Be sure to visit them right now to learn more and to check out their dice. There's some really good ones. And regardless of what happens in the future, Michael, please keep me posted as to when you have your D10 sets, because you have a lot of D&D sets, but seeing this as a World of Darkness game, and I know you're a big World of Darkness guy, I need more D10 sets. I have so many 10 sets.
All the shiny click-clacks.
I have so many 10 sets in front of me that are actually 9 sets, 8 sets, or 5 sets because I've lost them over the years.
I've got some really
I have
nice
like
resin
only
ones, but I need some
I have
more.
only 4. I only have
I
like
need some
4
sparkles.
10 sets. So, you know.
My sets need friends.
I only have
They need-
Chessex. I need some more
they need
sparkly
tiny.
fancy ones.
Ooh,
Yeah.
they finalized them today. The
Did you?
10 sets.
Ooh.
Contact me. I would
Interesting.
love to debut some of them.
Keep an eye out in April. Ooh.
Err.
April
It's
showers
better-
bring click clack powers.
What the fuck was that?
April showers bring me flowers.
Just we're not talking about showers. Oh.
Not even dice showers? Getting
Yeah, what
flooded
about
with
dice
dice?
showers?
Make it shower, Michael. Make it shower dice and other things. Dice showers. All right. So, anything else before we hop into game? Just a quick reminder that we are doing Virtual GaryCon on the 23rd. We have 2 streamings for Survivor games working for Salal, formerly Weva. Salal. And so I'll tell you more about what's happening in this chronicle after tonight. But first, does anybody have any questions after last game before we hop in? Because we left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Can I just
Yes.
scream incoherently?
Yeah, right? That
Always.
is very much that mood.
Mood.
So yeah, lots of questions. Like who the fuck is shooting at us?
Everybody.
And help. And can I cast Fireball? But beyond that,
Can I
no.
cast clothes?
No.
Can you cast close?
right.
Like close the portal and stay there with the devil?
No,
Yeah,
no,
totally.
clothes.
No,
as
you're
in
Verbena. That's
clothing.
paradoxical.
That's
Traz would like to
fair.
remind us that crying is a free action, and I
Okay,
thank him
thanks,
for
Tress.
that.
Thank you, Krux.
That's a good reminder. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be crying as a free action.
Crying is not a free action. Crying takes more time than that. Also, so folks, we're going to be hopping into game right now. Thank you so much for sticking with us throughout this chronicle. And don't worry, book 2 already has graphics done, thanks to our graphic designer Michael. And it looks real good. Okay. All right. So without further ado, I moved all of my notebooks because I was frantically prepping for game, which is not the smart thing to do. But I am not a smart man. I'm a creative man. There's a difference. Okay. Are you guys ready for this?
Oh.
All right.
Yes.
All right, everybody.
Traumatize me.
Let's get an initiative roll. 1d10 plus your dex plus wits. Okay. That's one way to do this. Okay.
10s explode on initiative, right?
Only if you have a specialty in dex or
Only if
wits.
you have a specialty.
Okay.
All right, so that's just that's
Okay, and let's roll for the devil. Huh. Good thing he has a reroll. Okay. Okay, so through this initiative, looking at you guys rolled real well. Damn. Okay. Wow. This is going to be particularly fun. So looking at the initiative right now off the top, I have Josephine at the top, followed by Darcie, followed by Evelyn, followed by someone else. Okay, followed by Teddy, followed by I'm just gonna call him Bathgate because I know who he is. Followed by Chastity, followed by the Technocracy, followed by Amelia.
Amelia. No.
All right.
And we threw our reminders of what effects we have up in
Sounds good.
the chat.
Reminder.
I also have Prime Side up still, so I have 2 effects on.
Sounds good. A quick reminder that every 2 effects that you have up does raise your difficulty by 1. Please inform me of this when you're casting. All right. So, now that its anxiety's out, let's begin Mage the Ascension the Victorian Age. Episode 18. Goodbye to Which and When. The portal shimmers open, connecting the 2 realms together. In one, the Grosvenor Hotel is a scene of carnage. Destroyed furniture, blood, and a corpse are in your immediate view. Directly in front of you, a partially derobed Lord Macduff, or whoever has been posing as Lord Macduff, stands reaching out toward a bare as the day she was born, Darcie Harkness, battered, bruised, smeared with ritual blood. On the floor near them, you can see Mai, Darcie's mentor, her throat cut from ear to ear, a blade still held in her dead hand. Next to her face, a yowling one-eyed cat that you know is Darcie's familiar. On the other side of the portal, Teddy holds up his compass, using it to breach the boundaries from Dashwood Manor. Beside him are Evelyn, Chastity, and Josephine. As you prepare to rush in and aid your friend, you hear the sound of hoofbeats, dozens of them, coming to an abrupt stop. The sound like a dozen drawing cabinets opening. And then a hail of gunfire rips through the front of Dashwood Manor, destroying the windows, puncturing into the side of the wood. Can I get everyone who is in the main room of the portal to please make me a dexterity and athletics roll to hit the deck? On the outside of the building, half a dozen horse-drawn carriages have lined up. 2 of them have panels that have dropped out of the side, revealing futuristic weapons. Guns with multiple barrels spiraling around like a corkscrew, unleashing volley after volley into the side of the building, tearing in to everything. At the center of it, astride a carriage without one of these mounted chain guns, you are going to be able to just make out through the smoke a blue-haired woman. Short hair, dyed blue with a long fringe. Dressed in awkward Victorian garb, her boots covering a pair of riding pants. Sitting next to Evelyn's husband, James Morgan. And that is going to be at a difficulty of 6. I would give it higher for a surprise, but the building's going to give you some shelter.
Okay.
4.
4 successes. Okay. Chastity.
So I'm at mauled for like bashing. Do we do chance die in this?
You do not do chance dice.
Okay, then I cannot roll, I do not think.
You do not have any dice, huh?
Nope.
Okay. In that case, please do me a favor. Ooh, damn. Roll me 4 dice for soak. Or 3 dice for soak for your forces shield. Evelyn, how many do you have?
Quick question.
Yes.
I think we were doing all of this basically kind of in the kitchen-y area, which is where she's been leaving all of her things.
So the kitchen opens up into the main foyer, which is where Teddy cast the spell.
Okay. She's gonna dart back to grab the bag with the dove thing in it.
Okay. I still need a dex and athletics roll to see if you get hit.
3 successes.
3 successes. Okay, so you'll be able to... You duck around the side of the frame as it explodes from the bullet's fire. Chastity, one moment while I do a quick test. Cool. That is a fail. That means that... How many successes did you get?
So for stamina, the difficulty is 6, right?
Yes, you have 3 dice to roll.
2 successes.
2 successes. All right, you are going to take 1 point of lethal damage as a bullet rips through your shoulder. Teddy, holding up his compass, is going to try to tackle you to the ground, but is instead merely going to collide bodies with you, taking 2 points of lethal damage himself. He grunts in pain as blood splatters your face, and with that, it is going to be... Well, it's time to begin. Josephine. Outside, you are going to hear a voice yell in an American accent. Come out with your hands up! This is the order of reason! You're fugitives! Bring back the Sutcliffe girl and I might consider not mowing you down! You'll recognize it as the man from the dockyards back in New York. Inspector... Funny, he actually never mentioned his name. What do? It's your turn, Josephine.
Okay. Is Amelia down here with us, or...
Amelia, you are going to glance around. You are going to hear some motion coming from the drawing room immediately to your right of the main entrance.
Okay. Does Teddy still have the portal open?
Portal is still open.
Okay.
Teddy is lying on the ground on top of Chastity in a pool of their blood.
Yeah. Okay. Man, what do I do What do I do? Can you remind me what the Destiny background does?
Oh boy, in Victorian Era and M20, Destiny does something completely different than I'm used to. So give me 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, you're the chosen one. Most importantly, you know you're special. When things seem bleak, you can call upon this knowledge. Once per game session, you can call upon this sense of destiny if you're facing a tough challenge or tight spot. If you spent all your willpower points before this crisis, you can roll your destiny pool against difficulty 8. Each one allows you to regain a point of willpower instantly.
Okay. So once we're out of willpower, that's supremely useful.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, definitely different than what I'm used to.
Yeah, it used to be
Okay.
rerolls.
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay. Now we've been in this house for a while. Is this house, perchance, wired with electricity? Or no? Might be a bit early for that.
I have never mentioned electricity in this house, to my knowledge.
That's what I thought. Cool. Okay. Then I am going to say, not super loudly, because I think everybody knows this, but we've got to get everyone out of here, including Amelia. And I am going to cast my correspondence route where I lose a tail, which will make it more difficult for them to follow us and find out where we went.
All right, so go ahead and give me that. Rattray, that's going to be at a difficulty of 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm using my special focus for it too.
3. Unless, how many effects do you have active right now? 2?
I have 2, so 4.
Okay, so 4.
Yeah. That is... all of my dice rolled above a 4.
Oh, wow.
And I rerolled. Yeah. That's 5 successes.
5 successes. Okay, so please remind me, -5. Okay, so you're -5 sympathetic connection. Not as good as correspondence 3, but still makes it a little better. All right,
Yeah.
so
Josephine on the ground pulls out her little mini telescope and kind of is playing with the end of it, winding it back and forth as she's muttering Latin under her breath to try and make it difficult for them to follow.
All right, sounds good to me. Darcie, on the other side of the breach, you're going to hear an explosion as your friends are peppered with bullets. Shrapnel, bits of splintered wood and glass are going to fly behind you. Basically, this is all around you in chaos, but what do you do?
I think part of the back of her mind, Darcie's like, this seems weird. Glass coming behind me. But I think she is. She's gonna let out this terrible, pained scream that I do not want to do on camera because I don't want to hurt everyone's eardrums. At seeing my dead on the ground, and she is just going to stare at Mr. Fake Duff, and she is going to just try and she doesn't have a rope for this, but she wants to use a combination of forces and life to drain the air from his lungs. She wants him just in so much pain. She wants him dead.
All right, what forces level do you have? 3?
2. And I have life 3.
Are you just going to try to rip it out of him? Or are you...
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. I think she's just like... I don't think she's thinking through things clearly. She's going very base, and she's just like,
Normally you wouldn't be able to violate someone's lungs, but with life 3, I would say that you could very easily make the case that you could use the life magic to crush his ribs and diaphragm in on themselves enough that the forces would push the rest of the air out.
Sure.
So I think that could be good.
I think almost like forcing him like against the wall to kind of like basically like
you don't have quite enough
up.
forces for that, but
No. No.
you definitely can do the first part. How many effects do you have active right now?
I just have the powerful blows, so I just have one right now.
Okay, so what I need you to do is give me, this is definitely going to be a catastrophic effect. You are inside of, now you're covered with these witches' marks all up and down you. And you are bleeding onto the ground. So I'm going to say you're a little distracted at the moment. That's going to be a +1 difficulty. So you're going to be at 5, 8, 9. The moon is in your phase right now, so that's going to drop it down to 6. And what is your focus? You don't have your mother's book with you.
I don't have my mother's book, but I think for forces is a lot of blood magic, so I think she's going to just use the blood and draw like a quick circle and like make like a motion of like in and out with the blood to kind of focus on blood magic a little bit for that.
Now here's the thing, was your mother's Book of Shadows a unique foci? Was it, did you have it that you could not cast life magic without it?
Right, I might have.
I believe you do.
Might have.
So
I do believe I do.
The only way you can do this is you can spend a willpower to try to force yourself to do this. And then you're going to be at a difficulty of 9.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that is what is I think that's what's going through Darcie's head at the moment, and she's doing something that she's not she's not prepared to do or has experience doing, but she's kind of just going with very much emotional response right now.
Okay, then go ahead and give it to me. You can make me an Arete roll at difficulty 9. Spend the willpower,
right.
Does not add to your successes.
Yep. She's just forcing it through. Come on. 10s reroll, right?
Yeah, they do on Magic.
I rolled 2
our
of
homebrew,
them.
yeah.
I rolled 2 10s out of 3 dice.
Oh shit. Okay.
With another 10. And then a 2. So 3 successes.
Okay. So this is going to be lethal damage. Give me 1 moment, because he does get to soak this.
Yep.
Okay. Now, recently you had cast an effect on him in order to kind of crush him down on himself and, like, fill him with agony. So he is a little bit hampered right now. However, with that reaching up, calling on the blood, you are going to reach out and squeeze your hands. Your nails are going to be so tightly pressed into your palm that little crescent moons of blood are going to well up and begin overflowing down your palm as you crush the symbolic representation of his lungs. There is going to be a wrenching noise and the sound of breaking ribs as you are going to inflict an extreme amount of damage. You are going to see his bare chest begin to writhe as his ribs contort like wriggling fingers beneath the flesh, puncturing through. Blood, black as it is red, is going to be running down his pale chest in rivulets. Ooh, that is a hell of a hit. He is going to stumble back in pain blood pouring between his teeth. Evelyn, it is your turn. You have ducked into the kitchen to grab the bag with the DOVE device in it.
Yes. To shove it in the bag that she carries around with her at all times. That is full of her bits and bobs that she does science with. And I think the only way we're getting away from all these guys is through the portal. So we're gonna have to deal with the one instead of the many. I think she's gonna try and grab it and just run back and see if she can get Chastity and Teddy up. Because they're probably honestly safer in the room with the monster dude, McDuff, whatever he may be, than all these Order of Reasons that are storming the house.
Probably true.
And hope that Freeman can get his own ass out.
What's your strength?
Not very much.
Okay.
Let
So,
me see.
are you grabbing Chastity or Teddy?
I guess Teddy, because I think he landed on top of her.
He landed kind of on top of her, yeah.
Yeah, so she's going to start tugging at his arm to be like, up, up, up.
Ow!
Out, up.
Ow! All right, so grabbing him up, do you just kind of grab him and drag him toward the portal?
I try and get him up and standing, and then, okay, come on.
Okay. That
And
is gonna
then
be your...
start working towards Chastity.
Okay, so you're going to spend your turn getting them on their feet, basically?
Yep.
All right. You are going to do that, and as you do, you are going to hear the back door into the kitchen open abruptly behind you, and someone is going to step through into the kitchen and to where you were standing up, and it is someone you've never seen before. Dressed in a quite fancy, prim gown and skirt, much high fashion, especially in Parisian circles. You are going to see a tall black woman standing in the door. Long scarlet gloves running up the length of her brown arms, her hair cut very short to her head, as almost completely clippered down to less than an inch, but quite striking. High cheekbones, bright tawny eyes. And she speaks in a vaguely southern accent.
Can I put the context clues together?
Sure. Yeah, you can make me a wits and I want to say wits and composure, but that's a different system.
How about intelligence deductive?
Yes. Okay. Wits and intelligence to figure this one out, we'll say.
I'm going to deduce who they are. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty on this is the Victorian Era. I'll say an 8.
Okay. Three successes.
All right, so you're going to figure it out right away then. She's going to look down and... What did I just walk into?
The Order of Reasons caught up with us. Hurry up and move.
All right,
I'm glad you're not getting killed.
I was just changing for our trip.
I was worried we were going to have to leave and you would be getting killed by surprise somewhere else.
I don't plan on dying, and neither do they. Oh, heavens. She's going to look at Chastity, reach up her skirt, and Dr. Vivian Freeman is going to say, sorry about this, and jam a syringe in the side of your neck. That could have gone better. That's going to be, with the willpower, 4 points of healing, starting with the bashing. You are
Okay,
now at
so
2
that-
lethal. Oh wait, pardon me. Yeah. That's
No,
right.
I was at 3
3
bashing.
3 lethal.
No, yeah. So and then yes.
So bashing always heals first, even with magic. Yes, Darcie.
Quick question. How much paradox did I take
I'm
from
working on that.
catastrophic?
It's 2 for catastrophic. It's
Oh.
1 for.
Yeah, it's 1 for uncanny, 2 for catastrophic. But I was just going to make sure that it wasn't 1 plus additional spheres, and I didn't think it was, but I wanted to be
Not.
sure. Okay.
Victorian Era is super streamlined that way.
All right. Thank you for that, because my PDF is not working right now. So that's going to be 2 then, Robin. So you are looking at 2 paradox now, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait, how much did you have from last game left over? Did you have? You had 9 left over from last game.
That would be yes, because I did some vulgar stuff. So yes,
Okay,
that would
so
be
you're
9
at 11
last
now.
game.
Okay. Okay, so Teddy is going to act at this point and going to look. Go get Darcie. I'm going to set up the portal in the kitchen. I can get us to France. Or maybe the sitting room? Is the sitting room in the kitchen? It's just, sitting room. And he's going to dive over to the right of you and begin working on his effect for this. That is going to be, okay, where in Paris do I know? Where in Paris do I know? Where in Paris do I know? Okay, he is going to make an intelligence plus academics roll to try to think of where to go. That is a lot of 1s, Teddy. Why are you doing that? Okay, that's Teddy's turn. Teddy is going to rush into the sitting room past the portal, sit on the ground, and start thinking of where to go. Meanwhile, through the rift, Bathgate's ribs crumple in on him. He grunts in pain, and as the air is forced out of his lungs, you're going to hear a bit of laughter echoing around the room. Blood is pouring between his teeth, and he raises his hand, and the Ouroboros, why can I never pronounce it on the first try? The Ouroboros, the Ouroboros in his hand is going to shiver and split, and a fanged mouth is going to open in the center of his palm, laughing. Nice try, girl. I will have my body. Surrender yourself. Make this easy on you.
Fuck off.
Fine. I don't need you alive. And it is going to spend a willpower, and suddenly you are going to hear the sound of wind whipping outside. I need you to do me a favor. You can make me a reflexive dex and athletics roll, please, if you would like.
Okay.
Don't forget your wound
Sweet.
penalties, if any.
Oh, okay. So a -2. So it's Dex and
Dex and athletics,
you said?
Yep, -2.
-2. Okay. And so armor, what is that? Because again, slightly not familiar. What does armor do again for helping?
You'll add
It's
3
just-
dice to your soak,
Okay, cool.
and it can soak against lethal, anything that is kinetic based,
Okay. Sweet.
which,
All
funny
right.
enough, this is going to be.
Hey, what am I looking for?
You are looking with 6s for this.
Well, it's gonna be 1 success.
1 success, okay. Then that is going to be,
I'm rolling 10s tonight, guys.
roll me 3 dice to soak.
Okay. Different from so plus my stamina or
Not including your
just the
stamina.
dice?
You can't soak lethal damage.
Oh, okay, cool.
But your Force's Shield can, so you'll be rolling 3 dice of soak for that. Difficulty 6.
Okay. Thanks, Jen. That is 1 success.
Okay, so with that, you are going to take no points of damage for this, luckily. There's going to be suddenly the sound of a hurricane outside of the window of the Grosvenor suite. The windows are going to explode, raining jagged glass down upon you, as the room is suddenly full of shadowy figures whipping along the walls, obscured by a tumultuous haze, whispering darkly into the room as it is plunged into half darkness. The candle flames and torches and the oil lamps and the fireplace flickering as oxygen is stripped from them and flickered around the room. Chastity, it is your turn.
Okay, and Chastity has just been healed a little bit, and Teddy has said to go pull Darcie through, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what Chaz is gonna do. She's gonna stand up and go and attempt to breach the portal to reach for Darcie.
Okay. So, running through the portal, you can see that there is like a sofa that's been pushed in the side, and that is blocking Darcie and Bathgate. I'm going to say that Darcie kind of dived on top of the sofa as the windows exploded inward.
Yeah, that's probably smart. Like, dives for cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick, we have to go. Let's go. And is going to attempt to get close enough to start like pulling her towards like up. And
Darcie, what do you do? Chastity runs up next to you from where you were kind of like hunkered down on the sofa. Shards of broken glass falling in front of your face.
I think she's going to kind of almost like dart awake from like some sort of trauma trance, and she's going to look at Chastity and like hear the seriousness in her voice, and she's gonna go, he killed her.
And I think Jess is gonna try and like actually take in what the hell is happening in this room, because she kind of just ran in.
As you turn, you're going to see Mai lying on the ground, her dead eye staring at you, her throat cut down to the bone.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry, but we have to go. We have to go.
I think like if you like grab Darcie's wrist and like tug it, I think Darcie will follow. I don't think Darcie's quite like gonna take initiative to follow you. So if you grab her, she's gonna like try and like reach for Bran as well as she's leaving. And I don't know how close to Darcie is to Mai, but she would try and go for Mai's dagger.
That gate is between you two. As that happens, Darcie, you're at 0 paradox now.
Oh no.
There is going to be the sound of whipping air through the room. I need both of you to roll me that. That's a kinetic shield, but let's see how bad this is. Okay. As you do that, as you spin around to go, the wind is going to whip around the walls. The glass that is peppering everything is going to tear down some of the wall. The fixtures on the wall are going to sputter. And the Grosvenor Hotel is one of the first hotels, actually, to have electricity.
Oh no.
The walls ignite. The old years of oil stains and old carpet and draperies are going to ignite. I need you both to make a stamina roll immediately as the room suddenly expands with heat, filling with smoke.
And double checking wound penalties, how do they impact stamina?
They do
rolls?
not affect, they will not affect the stamina roll.
Cool. That's great. Difficulty 6, I'm assuming? Or higher?
That's gonna be, it's a difficulty of 7.
No, 1.
2.
Okay. Both of you are going to be blinded by the sudden flash of smoke and fire, but are not going to take any damage this round. It is the Technocracy's turn. You are going to hear from the outside. This is your last chance. Come out with your hands up. They're not coming out, are they? Probably not, Gov. Yeah, probably not. Then drag them out. Glad to. And with that, the front door is going to kick open, and 3 men wielding shotguns that you will recognize as the 3 large bald men, well, pardon me, the 3 bald siblings are going to enter the room. One of them is going to turn immediately, the smallest one, Minor, and is going to go, you mind getting on the floor, please? The biggest one is going to go, don't need knees. And he's going to aim and fire at, let's see. Josephine is the one who shot him and almost killed him before. So, Joe,
Oh, yeah.
you can make a reflexive dex and athletics roll to dive into the next room, because you are close enough and have not made a defensive action this turn. He is going to make a dex and...
Am I close enough to the portal to go through it, or?
Yes, you are.
I would prefer to go through it.
Okay.
Even if I see smoke coming out of it, because I believe fire will not hurt me.
No, this is true. This is true. Oh, balls.
Difficulty 6?
Difficulty of 6 to try to dive out of the way.
4 successes.
Good job. Good job. So I still hit you. So that's a shotgun blast.
Cool.
That is not at close range, thankfully. So that means that roll me your forces.
Shield. Yeah.
Oh, I think you got real lucky. I think you got
2
real.
successes.
It's gonna absorb. I only got 2 successes on the shot. You're going to feel the sting of these pellets as the buckshot strikes the sides of your thighs and like along your hip, and it's gonna feel like getting smacked with Chastity's horse crop. But you're going to dive through into the room of smoke, and I need you to make me a stamina roll, difficulty 7. Meanwhile, Evelyn, inside of that room, Medial is going to raise his gun. His gun is not a shotgun. It is, in fact, a rather insidious-looking revolver, and is going to take aim at you. You can attempt to dodge out of the way, if you'd like.
Sure, might as well.
Okay, so...
So that will be Dex and Athletics?
Yep. Oh, balls.
Two, I think. As long as it's over 8.
It is 6 and over.
Okay, yeah, 2 successes.
7 successes for me.
Okay.
So roll me 3 dice for your soak from the forces armor. That is going to be that.
Don't forget I have my entropy field as well. I
You
had
have
3
that up right now?
successes in that. Yeah.
Okay.
prepped it last game for going through the portal.
What that means is you are going to roll stamina +3 for soaking.
Okay.
Because you can soak everything except, or including aggravated damage with that.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this might really be bad.
What is the
6.
ability 6? Okay. Sweet. 5.
You got 5 successes?
Yep.
Okay.
A couple of them were 6s. I had a 7 and a couple 9s.
A bullet is going to rip across your rib cage, dealing 1 point of lethal damage instead of 6.
Sweet.
Okay.
I got 3 successes on my stamina.
3 successes on your stamina. All right, so you are having a bit of trouble seeing. You're going to be a -2 on perception, but are not going to be blinded. Meanwhile, on the outside, I am going to make a roll real quick. Cool. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Evelyn, you're going to dive for cover as that bullet rips past you, and as you glance up to make sure that none of your friends are being hit again, kind of catching your breath as your ribs are just pouring blood from that nick, you are going to see a silhouette in the door as a rather average-sized man is going to hurl himself at the medium-sized figure. That's my wife, you son of a bitch! And is going to tackle him to the ground. And then it is Amelia's turn. Amelia is going to rush up to Teddy from where she was hiding at the back of the sitting room and go, "What's going on? Teddy? Teddy? You're hurt." Yeah, it's just a... It's not as bad as it looks. Probably. Top of the initiative, it is the wind. Everybody inside of that room is going to... Ooh, here, I'm gonna... Cool. I'm going to make a generalized multi-attack against Josephine, Chastity, and Darcie in this room. It is not a new round for you, so you can't do a defensive action, which kind of sucks. But I'm splitting my dice pool many ways, so that is going to be... Oh, just 10 dice. So that's 3 dice, and 3 dice, and 3 dice. Okay. Darcie, you are struck.
Cool.
Chastity, you are struck. And... You guys are all hit by this. Okay, just barely, but that's something, and that is going to be... Okay. Please, all 3 of you, roll me your forces soak. Darcie, you're soaking 1 point of lethal damage.
Crap. Is it
Chastity,
difficulty 6?
Difficulty 6. Chastity, you are soaking 4 points of lethal damage. And Josephine, you are soaking 2 points of lethal damage. And I will explain what happens in just a moment.
soak
Quick
completely.
question.
Yes,
Do 1 subtract from successes on soak rolls?
they do not.
Cool, so Darcie soaks the 1.
Chastity, 1 moment, please. I'm spending if something good happens to reroll your pool. That, you are now soaking 3 points of lethal damage instead of 4.
Okay. And so if I got an 8, a 1, and a 6 on that soak roll, I
2.
would be taking...
You take 1 point of lethal damage. The shadowy figures around the room start spinning like a kaleidoscope. And as they do, bits of shrapnel begin peeling and ripping off your flesh with wind and debris. This is going to do this damage per turn. But I'll reroll every turn. So that is going to be Chastity. How many points did you take? 1?
Yeah, I took 1 lethal.
All right, Darcie. 0. And Josephine?
0.
All right. You are buffeted by the horrible shredding around you. Josephine, it is your turn.
Excellent. I can't see much in here, right? So, but can I just glance around to see if there's a way out of here that isn't back through the portal?
There could be a way out through the door, but the door is on fire right now.
Fair, and while fire won't hurt me, it will probably hurt these two.
That's a good way of thinking around that, yes.
Cool,
Oh,
okay.
sorry, I should put one second.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, thank you, yes. Thematic. I would like to grab for the two of them, and try to pull them through the portal while I'm, like, blocking them with my own body. As best I can. I know there's two of them, so.
Okay. Sounds good. So as you are trying to basically shield them, I'll say that you can get them on their feet, but you won't be able to move until Chastity's turn. In the meanwhile,
that's fair.
You'll be able to shield them, so you'll be able to use Dex and Athletics for them to try to shield them from harm, okay?
Fantastic. I would also like to pull a bottle out of my bag. That is for later.
Totally.
But I'm making sure it's out of my bag.
All right. Darcie, it is your turn. You are coughing and somewhat blinded.
Okay. So quick question. With things like telekinesis, do you have to, I'm guessing you'd have to see where the object is.
You would.
that
You
you're
also,
wanting.
for telekinesis, you need forces 3.
Oh, I was looking at the thing and I said, well, okay, 2+.
I guess it depends on the system.
Yeah.
Traditionally, yeah. Mage 20 did make some changes, so it could be in.
Yeah, I was going for Darcie to try and try and grab Mai's dagger. That was like the thing that she wants.
That's small enough. Yeah, I think that's fine. So you can. I'll say you're blinded, but you kind of can see it through. You know what? Let's make me a perception plus alertness roll at a difficulty of 8 because of the smoke.
Okay. Minus my wound penalties. Is it this system where you can spend a willpower to ignore wound penalties for a round?
You can either spend wound penalties, or to ignore wound penalties, or to gain an automatic success.
Ooh, I'll spend a willpower to gain a success on that.
Okay. So go ahead and roll just to see if you botch, but...
Yeah. You said it was an 8?
I said it was an 8.
Cool, I'm glad I have that. So it's 1 success.
1 success. All right, you'll see it. You can make me an arete roll. You are going to be at a difficulty of 5.
Okay. Ooh, 2 successes.
Okay. Reaching out your hand, you are going to see through the smoke the bloody blade clutched in Mai's dead hand is going to spin around and fly into yours. All right, Evelyn.
Whistle to Bran and get ready to run with the group.
Tain't worth it to be here.
I know, we're getting out.
The cat will yowl and rush by your heels. Evelyn, on the other side, what do? You see that James has tackled the medium-sized. You know that they're either siblings or some type of science experiment, but have tackled him to the ground.
The one who shot me.
Yes.
Okay. So he's kind of in the way on that one then, and then there's 2 others?
There's a very large one with a shotgun and a small one with some type of, it's not quite a shotgun now that you see it. It is a strange looking rifle with a number of additional modifiers welded to it.
Okay, but it looks like it has a normal, like, hammer system.
It does.
Okay. I would like to take out a bottle of my chemicals that I use for my Bond of Brotherhood, splash it on it, and Bond of Brotherhood the hammer to the casing of the rifle so it can't move.
Okay. So, because this is at a range and you are a ways away, I need you to make me a Dex and Athletics roll to hit this.
Okay.
You could use Dex and Firearms if you had a spray, but because you're just kind of hurling a vial, so it is Dex and
I will have to
Athletics.
work on getting a spray at some point. I've got so many notes of things I need to create.
It's a pretty big gun, so to splash the gun with your bonding, I'll say that it is going to be a difficulty of 7.
Okay.
Against a handgun, it would probably be an 8, but...
Okay. Two successes.
Okay, so make me an Arete roll.
Okay. What's the difficulty on that?
A difficulty on that in this house is going to be at a difficulty of, that's Matter 2.
Let me just double check what my rote is.
Matter,
Yeah,
it's
Matter
Matter
2.
2. 4.
Okay. I love that 10-3 roll.
Yeah.
I really love that 10-3 roll. That's 5 successes.
Okay, 5 successes. Damn, okay. So he is going to raise the gun to fire, and you are going to see that this corrosive enzyme is going to, well, it's not corrosive, this bonding enzyme is going to cover the gun, almost like kind of encasing it in laminate. And he's going to raise it and click, click. Oh, you shouldn't have done that, love. Oh, wait, no, pardon me. That's not what he sounds like at all. I'm mischaracterizing him. Oh, my dear, I say, that was probably the least intelligent motivation or action you could have taken in this situation.
She's just going to grip her umbrella a little more firmly.
Okay.
Shift the grip on it.
Dr. Freeman is going to look around and say, I don't suppose that we're going to be able to get out of here the easy way.
Daddy.
Understood. I really love those horses. And she's going to reach inside of her blouse and pull out a very big whistle. And blow it. Spending willpower. Nice. Okay. And just on the edge of your perception, ear-splitting noise is going to fill the room, but sounds more like just a high-pitched breath is going to kind of echo throughout the room. And that is Dr. Freeman's turn. Teddy is going to go... I can't concentrate. I can't... What's something in Paris? What's something... Amelia, what's something in Paris that I know? I don't know. I've never been to Paris with you, Teddy. Get that blowjob. The bridge! The bridge! I know the bridge! I know the bridge! Oh, I was really drunk. Okay. Okay. Focus. He's gonna spend a willpower to pinpoint a location that he remembers. And is gonna start casting. Is there any chance you could help me remember state-dependent retention-wise? She turns her head to the side like... Never mind, I can do it myself. Meditation. I learned yoga from that strange girl on the east side. Okay, that's coming through. That's 2 successes for this. It's coming through. He's gonna need 5 successes for this, I'm pretty sure, because of correspondence connections. All right. It is Bathgate's turn. Bathgate is going to... No. I don't think so. And is going to turn and start heading toward you as the shrieking creatures tear about the room. And that is enough for that. Stepping forward, he is going to stride over the sofa. And Josephine, would you like to make me because you are blocking your friends, he is going to try to grab Darcie. You can make me a Dex and Athletics or a Strength and Brawl roll. Or a Dex and Brawl roll to try to block.
What's my difficulty?
6.
That is 5 successes on
Okay.
Dex and Athletics.
He is going to reach out with this hand that has a gaping mouth covered in viperous fangs ringing it and try to grab Darcie with it by her naked shoulder. What do you do?
I have no idea what is really going on. I interject myself and grab his arm.
All right, he's going to turn and look at you. And an Enochian is going to say to you, you shouldn't pardon me. You shouldn't interfere with the affairs of gods, little bitch. He speaks Enochian better than you do. And he's going to headbutt you full in the face with his other action.
Cool. Bring it.
Oh shit, he brought it. That's gonna be a lot. Roll me your stamina plus forces, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And hold on 1 sec.
Okay. That is 5 successes on that too.
Okay. 5 successes. He is going to slam his face into yours. You're actually going to take no points of damage. But my god, if that doesn't ring your bell a little bit, just like snapping your head back from it.
Yep.
All right, that is going to be his turn this round. Chastity, it is your turn. Josephine is trying to push you.
Yep. And Chastity is trying to head in the direction of back through the portal to go find whatever Teddy is casting.
Mm-hmm.
And is still trying to pull Darcie along.
Okay. So you are going to have... So Josephine gets headbutted, and you all pull yourselves through the portal at that point on your initiative. All right, what do you do?
Am I able to... If the three of us are through, am I able to do some sort of counter magic to tear down the effect, or just yell at Teddy to drop it?
Yelling on him to drop it would probably be the best idea.
Okay. Teddy, drop it! Drop the portal! We're through!
Okay. On his action, he will drop it. All right, are you doing anything else?
I do not think so, except maybe looking for cover if the people are still shooting.
They are still shooting.
Yep, that'd be a good dive for cover.
Okay, so diving into the sitting room, you can see Amelia kind of cradled up next to Teddy as he sits with his legs propped up, his feet on top of his knees as he tries to focus and meditate. Nam Shibai. Having trouble with this?
We're through. You can drop it. Can I help? Anything I can do?
He's gonna kind of give you a All right, and it is the Technocracy's turn. Evelyn, over on the other side of the room, you're gonna hear, "You shouldn't have done that." And a gunshot is going to go off, and James is going to sag to the ground, clutching his gut. The one who took a shot at you is going to basically just stand up above James and chamber another round. The big one is going to rush forward and is going to see people emerge from the portal and duck into the sitting room, and is going to try to give chase. Is going to raise a gun as he runs up and tries to fire directly into, let's see, you dove in. Oh, he's gonna try to hit all of you, I guess, but you really can't. So he's gonna try to hit. He's gonna try to hit Josephine again, because you're right there, and man, he really doesn't like.
It makes sense. I'm probably the last one out. Yeah.
Does he get like a little spooked by the bloody naked woman also?
He has intelligence of 1. He doesn't even notice. He's gonna run around. This hulking man who's nearly 7 feet tall is going to die, you fucking cunt, and is going to use strength plus firearms to put the gun right next to your stomach.
Cool.
Now, you have taken an action, so you can do Dex and Dodge. Dex and Athletics.
Okay.
So, that is going to be Strength, Firearms. Oh god, the one thing he's good at. I have rolled so many 1s this game. It is unbelievable.
That one was less good. I only got 1 success.
Holy shit. I had 1 success, and then I exploded my 10s, and I have 4 successes thanks to that.
Cool.
So that is going to be point blank. That's 11 dice of damage. Please roll me your forces soaked.
My forces shield doesn't reroll 10s, does it?
You know what? It's magic.
Cool.
So sure, yeah, I'll allow it in this case.
Cool. That's 4 successes.
Okay. You're gonna take 4 levels of lethal damage to the stomach. As I rolled 8 successes on this. There's going to be an explosion as part of your stomach tears out. Is that your only damage right now?
Plus a single bashing from when I pulled Quint from my pattern.
You are still alive, though.
Yep.
Holy shit.
I am indeed.
Okay.
It was why I was like, I'm shielding people.
Dr. Freeman is going to run into the room and attempt to do a motion to knock him back into to knock him off of you. So that is going to be a contested strength and athletics roll, which, man, I don't think he's going to do, or I don't think she's going to manage. That's actually, you know what? He only got 3 successes thanks to 1s, and she has strength 3, athletics 2, and a willpower. She could do this. Oh no, those 1s. Okay, so she's going to rush and just yell, "Get off of her!" and slam her elbow into his gut, not really making much movement. The other technocrat is going to look down at his busted gun. That was the least intelligent move you could do, love. Now I'm going to have to, unfortunately, beat your brains in. He reverses the rifle, holds it like a bat, and charges you. Evelyn, you may make a Dex and Athletics roll.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Dex and Melee roll.
I would like Dex and Melee, please. It's better. Okay. And I'm going to try and block with my umbrella. That is, by the way, reinforced from the beginning of the Chronicle. We talked about that.
It's true.
That I fight with this umbrella.
Oh, man.
What's my difficulty?
Difficulty 6.
Okay.
I got 0 successes on 8 dice thanks to 1s. What'd you get?
5.
Okay, so he double fists the barrel, rushes at you, and takes a swing at you. and you are going to parry it out of the way with your umbrella.
I just kind of do that thing where you kind of like pull it over and it just slides his attack down to the side
And
and
like
hits
pins
the
it to the
floor.
ground.
Yeah,
All right, that sounds good.
just very slick and like smoothly done.
He's going to look up at you with a bit of surprise, and then look behind you with more surprise as his brow furrows. And he looks out kind of like beyond the portal to like the windows of the sitting room. Huh? And as he does that, everyone is going to hear this tremendous noise coming from outside. And then the back windows of the sitting room are going to explode inward as two 20-foot tall horses burst the wall down and just run rampant through the house like a freight train.
Can I kind of glance to the side to see that and just respond to his huh with, "It's science, love."
Yes, you may. Yes, you may. Okay, which technocrat has not acted? So Major's acted. Minor just got deflected by you. Medial just shot James in the gut. Which means that Amelia is going to lose her action by being stunned by this. That is... Oh god. Okay. That is going to happen. Sorry, I'm just calculating all this in my head. Outside, the camera is going to pan to outside, where the one with the blue fringe is going to walk up to the mustached man who is trying to call the shots here. You said you had them pinned down. You said you had them captured. I think you're full of shit. What? Young lady, how dare you talk to me like that? Do you know who I am? Yeah, and I know you're gonna die in 3 months by being run over by a carriage in Brooklyn. Shut up and give me my box back, you mustached fuck. But I... Because he's played by J.K. Simmons, that's what he sounds like. And that's her turn. Okay, top of the initiative. Bathgate is going to point his hand toward you, and I need Evelyn to make me a soak roll. And I need Minor to make me a soak roll. Oh wait, no I don't. Minor can't soak that because it's... Oh boy.
What's my difficulty?
Difficulty 6. I think you're gonna be fine. I think he wasn't shielded for this. That's 4 successes for me, which means strength. That's...
You know what always really sucks? Is when I get a bunch of 10s and don't get to re-roll them.
Yeah, it does kind of suck.
3 successes.
3 successes? I'll let you know in a second. 1 sec. Oh, that die is gone. Okay, that's going to be 1, 2... Those explode. 3, 5... And he fails his... You're going to dodge, he's going to look. What? He's like, science love. And then suddenly, shrieking, howling shadows made of wind are going to erupt out of the wall. And you said you got 3 successes?
Yeah.
Okay, you are going to take some damage from this. You are going to take 2 points of lethal damage. Wait, pardon me, you got 3 successes?
Yeah.
Okay, you are going to take 1 point of lethal damage. My bad. As bits of debris, bullet casings, glass are going to shred through you. He is going to take 5 levels of lethal damage as he is shredded halfway to a pulp by these shrieking, screaming specters. And as that happens, you are going to see you're going to see the man that you thought was Lord Macduff take a step forward to the edge of the portal. It's not all science. Josephine, it's your turn.
Awesome. Cough up some blood. That's great. That's good. That's good. We're in the sitting room, right? The wall has just
You're
imploded in.
The wall's just been imploded in. Horses are raking havoc.
Towards the... And the portal's still open because Teddy hasn't had his...
Teddy has not had his turn yet.
Excellent. What I'd like to do is spend a willpower to ignore wound penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly in case I need to reflexively dodge for this. I am going to look at where the portal is because that's near the front door.
Mm-hmm.
And between me and the door are some enemies, correct? Sort of?
Yes.
Like there's one guy like right here.
There's one guy like right next to you and another guy behind you. And and a pair of guys by the door.
Cool. I'm going to take that bottle that I pulled,
Mm-hmm.
which I've had since the beginning of the Chronicle, and is labeled Brimstone.
Of course.
And I'm going to huck it towards the front door where the portal is, and use the fire that's from the portal to make an explosion by the front door.
Okay, so you're gonna pull all of the fire from the portal through, too?
Yeah.
Okay, make a firestorm. What do you got? What are you thinking this is? Forces 3?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, let's make a fireball then. So, Forces 3. This is gonna be big. You got so much... Oh god, so you could do forces in prime to just expand the existing fire. You could use forces to expand the existing fire, not quite as good. And you could do forces in correspondence to pull more fire.
Right. If I used prime, do I need Quint?
Yeah, I guess
think so.
you'd have to use forces and...
Yeah, I don't have any Quint, so I'll do forces in core though.
Okay. Then give this to me.
I do also have forces 4, so like could just be all forces, but the fire just being there kind of makes it easier. I don't have to create it out of nothing, right?
Mm-hmm. That sounds good to me. Yeah, so you totally can just draw from the existing one using correspondence and stuff, and just and using the forces. We'll say that's going to be at a difficulty of 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus that 5 with your specialty foci.
Cool. I can't remember what we're doing with resonances for this game.
I'm including fiery.
Cool. I do have a specialty in forces in fire as well, so I'm just putting that out there. So difficulty 5? Difficulty 6 because of my because I have multiple effects up.
Nope. Difficulty of 5 flat.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And are you spending willpower?
I spent it to ignore wound penalties.
Fair.
Not that because I don't think on Magic you have wound penalties, but I wanted it in case I have to like dodge. So how were we doing specialties with spheres again? It was because we added, right?
It means that 10s count for 2.
Right.
But
so
have
10's count
you-
for 2, and I reroll them.
Yes. But have you achieved forces 4 yet? Like mechanically?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh wait, did you pick it up at the end of your
used it.
seeking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, with forces 4, you could just do it by itself.
Yeah. that's what I thought. Hold on, there's math involved. This might be the most insane thing I've ever done.
Okay, hold on. Let me raise your paradox to 4
Yeah.
from 2.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
I rolled 11 successes on 4 dice.
Sorry, what the fuck?
You might be regretting that whole 10s too extra because I kept
Oh my
rolling
God, that's insane.
So pulling the fire from and making it round the corner. What mythological creature should the fire look like from Josephine? A fire, or pardon me, a dragon, a phoenix?
A dragon, for sure.
Okay. So a dragon of fire and smoke and brimstone is going to rip through the portal to the Grosvenor Hotel, shrieking by, completely incinerating Minor after he has been buffeted by the shrapnel and fended off by you, Evelyn. This shrieking dragon is basically going to swallow him, leaving nothing but charred bone. It is going to lash over. I need to know, Josephine, is this targeting James Morgan? Or is it just heading out anybody who's standing and above?
I think it's anybody who's standing. It's
Okay.
it's not super focused.
So
It's
I'm going to give them a
rage
dex and
and screaming.
athletics roll to try to dodge away from some of this. And that's... So I guess that's going to miss Major, the big guy, because he's inside of the room on the other side of the portal. But it's going to hit everybody else. Jesus Christ. Okay, 11 successes. We're going into narrative mode for this because the rules don't cover that. Okay, so Medial is going to be able to hit the deck and only take probably 6 levels of aggravated damage. However, he's out of the fight. We're gonna put it out there. The fire is going to strike the front of the building, and the front of Dashwood Manor is going to explode outward onto the street, raining fire down on the Technocracy, incinerating horses and carriages. You're going to hear the screams of dying horses outside, the explosion of round after round of Gatling guns imploding, exploding, there is going to be an eruption of flame as that goes off. And as the dust settles, some time in the future, just so I don't forget, there's going to be, the camera is going to pan across the wreckage, and Inspector Donahue is going to be lying on the ground, singed to just charred blackness. And the woman with the blue fringe is going to step out, look down from where she's a little singed, has soot in her hair, and is going to look down at the dying man and go, "Oh, what do you know? I guess events can be altered." Thank God she has time for and, like, contingency effects. I need her for reasons.
I mean, fair.
Well,
Josie
so much
got
for that
mad.
NPC. I expected him to be a recurring. Maybe they can resurrect him. I don't know. Darcie, you are
Hi.
naked in the room. A firebird has erupted out, and there's a man who just blew part of Josephine's guts out with a shotgun right over you. What do you do?
Okay. For thing of the room. I have a question.
Yes.
With her focused, her Book of Shadows, since it is my only...
Glancing over your shoulder,
specialist.
make me a perception and awareness roll or alertness roll.
I will do awareness. Does resonance apply?
Yeah. Give it to me a difficulty of 6 because of the chaos. The horses are definitely adding to that.
Yeah. If I spend a willpower to ignore penalties, does that go for my entire turn?
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to spend a willpower to ignore wound penalties on this, and for everything else for the rest of my turn. What the actual shit?
What'd you get?
3 1s. I rolled 3 1s.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 1s, and then a 6 and a 10. So that's 2 successes. Let's see if this 10 gives me another success to...
Do you have a specialty to reroll the 10?
Resonances.
Oh, fair.
That's a 6, so it's a fail. Darcie fails.
I am going to spend a something good happens for you because I have 2 of them remaining. I have 1 of them now.
Ooh. Yep.
I am going to spend something good happens to say that as you are looking down where Teddy is, he was using your Book of Shadows to teleport you and or to teleport to you. It is sitting at his feet, right next to Amelia.
How far away is Teddy from Darcie?
3 feet.
Cool. Darcie's gonna reach for the book, knocking stuff over beside me. And she's gonna reach for the book, quickly flip to a page, and then she's going to do Curse of Matcha on Matcha. I don't know why I keep saying matcha. On
Delicious.
Major, because I can also do, and I'm gonna put all of my points into duration because I reread the rote, and duration can have them incapacitated, so they can't do anything for their turn because they are just doubled over in pain.
So you're doing this to Major?
Yeah, I'm doing this to Major.
Okay.
As she has her book back.
All right. Make me an arete roll at a difficulty of... Okay. Difficulty 3. Difficulty of 3 because of your moon phase. Next book is going to be a bad moon phase for you.
Oh, I know. I'm fully expecting the rolls to not be in my favor.
Book 3 is going to be an okay
one.
moon phase for you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go for it in Mage for stuff for magic. It's in rounds, right? So if I get 2 successes, it's 2 rounds, and
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna go for 3 successes, 2 for 2 rounds, and 1 for pain. If that makes sense.
It does.
Okay. That is 3 successes.
Okay. Major's going to cross his eyes and grab his balls with one hand and go, "Oh, my jewels!" and drop his shotgun to the ground as he clutches himself in pain.
And then he takes 2 levels of bashing from that too.
Sounds good. Outside of the room, Evelyn, you have been peppered by this. You can see Bathgate walking directly toward you through the portal. Around the portal, you can see that Freeman is wrestling with this huge man who has just grabbed his crotch and dropped his gun from the pain that's racking his body.
Okay, so Teddy hasn't dropped the portal yet.
He has not. It hasn't been his turn yet.
Okay. Hadn't quite thought this through yet. What?
Also, there is a stampede of horses, 20-foot tall horses, breaking down the living room.
Okay. I kind of want to prevent him coming through the portal. So I don't know, can I pick something up and fling it at him to hopefully knock him back a step in time for Teddy to drop the portal?
You could throw him in front of the horses. Are you talking about Bathgate, or are you talking about Major?
The dude trying to come through the portal. Evil McDuff.
Evil McDuff? You could... What do you want to do to him? How?
I just want to make him, like, stumble back. Like, I don't even want to hurt him. I just want to prevent him coming through the portal before Teddy has a chance to drop it.
Okay. The room's on fire. You could do something with matter and entropy to try to have the roof collapse between you.
Okay. Sure. Let's try that.
Okay, give it to me at a difficulty of, through a portal. That's going to be difficulty of 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, minus your specialty. 8, please.
Okay. Can I lower that in any way?
Using quintessence.
Sweet. I'm full on Quint. Can I spend one?
What's your avatar rating?
My avatar rating is 4.
You can spend up to 3 points of quintessence to lower the difficulty 1 for 1. It's the last episode of the book.
I'm gonna spend all my Quint then.
You can spend 3.
Yeah, that's all I have right now. I was
Okay.
full up, I think, guess before we raised my avatar. But,
Okay,
so I have 3 points. I would like to spend them all, please.
go ahead.
So that brings it down to 6.
All right.
I think it's difficulty.
Difficulty 6. You may spend a willpower on this if you'd like.
Does that give me extra dice?
It gives you an extra success.
Oh, extra success? Sure. Why not?
An extra
Let me just
success is
click those
better
off
than an
so I
extra
don't
dice,
forget.
usually. Except maybe for you.
Yeah, I kind of like rolling dice, especially when it's like Rattray, because then I get to re-roll them. But well, that was a 10 at least, so that's good.
Okay.
Let's see. Another 10, another 10. Oh, another 10! 4 successes. 2 of which were 10s.
4 successes. Okay, so this is
And
going to
then
be
plus my willpower success, so 5.
5 successes. That is 10 levels of area effect damage. So how do you do this? What is the magical mechanism for this? Do you just pick up a gun and fire it at the roof, hoping that it breaks? Do you grab a chemical like an accelerant?
Yes, I think. Do I have enough time to take like 2 things and mix some into one another or something like that?
Yeah, basically you go shook, throw.
Yes, I'm going to
Okay.
put together 2 chemicals that, when heated, would provide an explosive effect to help bring the.
Okay.
So I will add to the explosive arson that
The
of the team.
room is going to explode as the roof of the Grosvenor Hotel is going to collapse down on Macduff, covering him in burning beams of timber, hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of horrible burning damage.
Okay. So I feel like that room was already on fire, but they probably would have gotten it out because it was just one room in a hotel. I feel like it's probably my fault if the Grosvenor Hotel burned
I
down
think
at this
honestly
point.
the collapsed roof might put the fire out.
Are you
from just-
sure? Not just
I don't know.
spread it?
Who knows?
Explosive?
Who knows? I don't care.
I'm just trying to figure out if I popped my arson cherry or not
Oh yeah, you totally
on
did.
this team.
You can get an assist, like
time
the
to check.
assist goes on. You helped with the assist there.
Okay, Dr. Freeman's turn. Dr. Freeman is going to go... Oh, he's not a cold-blooded killer, even though that shotgun's right there. So she's going to do something that doesn't count in movies, and is going to double down and shove him now that he is incapacitated. And one of the horses is going to run over Major. Major gets to soak, still. Oh, he did pretty well at soaking. He did pretty well at soaking. Let's see. A horse is 8 dice of lethal damage. No, these horses have strength 6. This is... Well, I like these horses, man. I'm gonna miss them. Oh, balls. Okay, so he soaked 2 of the 7 points of lethal damage. there is going to be a crunching noise as these horses rear up with a whinny and put their hooves directly through the front of his face, collapsing his skull down to the spinal cord. It is Teddy's turn. Teddy is going to go, closing, and the first portal is going to close. I told you I'd get us to France. Here we go. Willpower. With willpower, that is 5 successes. As that occurs, there is a sudden sound as the ground beneath you shimmers and a portal opens. As you all find yourselves tumbling 10 feet to the ground. But as you do, there is the sound of breaking timber. And a horrible, sickly echo. And as you pause for a moment, you find that you can catch your breath. You haven't hit the ground yet. You're still falling. And as you look up in slow motion, you can see Teddy leaning over the hole, moving to dive down. And a shape looms over him. Blasted and burned and crushed and barely alive at all. The man that was in Macduff's body. The man that was Logan Bathgate. The corpse reaches down, grabs him by the hair, and says, "You'll never be away from me. Not until the ends of the earth. My doves." And then time will accelerate again. The portal will vanish. And, if I may, there's the sound of a page turning somewhere. As you hit the ground, you find, well, quiet. As the portal to London closed, we all tumbled down onto the hard concrete banks of Pont Alexander III. Teddy was gone, but in his last act he had carried us to Paris and to safety. Despite all of his predilections and eccentricities, he wouldn't have had it any other way. The portal's closure seemed to suck all sound out of the world, and we lay in stunned silence save for our own ragged breaths and the racing heartbeats in our ears. When these slowed, the universe relaxed into focus, and we were awash in the sound of the scene and the nighttime travel across the bridge above us. In the darkness, one of us began to weep, then another. One by one, each of us joined in until the perverse mixture of relief and grief threatened to swallow us whole. Finally, after a lifetime of tears, Dr. Freeman cleared her throat. "We should be on our way. They may follow us soon. We must hasten to my laboratory. There, we can plan our next course of action. We can figure something out." In her reborn body, the doctor spoke with a confidence we had never seen from her before. And despite our trepidation, injuries, and concerns, we acquiesced. I beg of you, dear reader, that you should not hold us in contempt for inaction. In that moment, to rail against the working of fate was futile, or worse, suicide. To undo what had transpired would take all of us. For throughout my long, long life, it has been proven time and time again that the powers of fate, Powerful and cruel master as it may be, pales in comparison to the determination of women united in cause. And we were still united. We were still the Doves. And together we would find a way to change fate. I promise you, as one who has seen this story through to its conclusion, we would see Mr. Dashwood again. But that, of course, is another story. Penny Dreadful's gloved fingers danced over the final words, allowing them to sink into her heart. Then, with the utmost care, she turned the book around and around in her hand, checking the binding, checking each corner. Beside her, Charlie Price leaned in to watch her work. "What are you doing?" "Checking for traces of the author. Hidden compartments. Secret ink." Charlie paused and let her work until he could stand the silence no longer. "And?" Penny slammed the book shut. "Nothing. Not a damn thing." "So, what do you make of it?" he asked with a bit of mirth. Is it authentic?" "Yes, it's authentic. And old. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say this one was probably written in the 50s, maybe the 60s. Penny smiled. She could tell him the exact date the ink was purchased and at which shop if she cast the right spell, but she didn't think a sleeper like Charlie would appreciate the effort. "No," Charlie said, interrupting the thought. "Is my grandmother's story real?" Penny crooked a sharply penciled eyebrow. "You said Neville sent you?" He nodded. "How do you know him?" Her hand subtly drifted behind her to where she had hidden a charm in a nearby book, just in case. "Oh, that's easy, Charlie paused, his mouth agape. He scrunched his face in deep concentration. I don't quite remember. I think he was the executor of my grandma's will. Long hair, black coat, weird looking for a lawyer." "Yeah, I suppose he is," Penny said as she lowered her hand. "And I'm guessing the will reading isn't the only thing you're finding it hard to remember now, is it?" Charlie ran fingers through his hair. "No, it's like the dates of the book. Everything feels like it's been smudged, blurred, removed. Quite the mystery indeed. No wonder Neville sent you my way." Penny turned to the black shape winding its way through the stacks of books. "And what do you think, Mr. Mistopheles? You were listening the whole time?" The cat paused and sat, staring up at the pair with bright, inquisitive eyes. Then, in a deep and piping voice, it said, "I like the part where the cat did all the hard work." Charlie practically fell out of his chair, and after several abortive attempts, he had finally managed to stutter out, The cat talked! The cat talked!" "Yes, he tends to do that." Penny stifled a chuckle as she stood up and straightened her dress. "Well, it seems we have a long night ahead of us if we're going to get through the next book. I'll put on some tea. Charlie, make yourself useful and find the next volume, and don't start without me." And with that, Penny Dreadful left Charlie Price alone in the bookshop. After taking a moment to regain his composure, he retrieved his messenger bag and flipped through the books until he found the next in the series. On its cover was embossed the familiar dove, only this time set within an ornate cage. Against his better judgment, Charlie opened the cover of the book. On the first page, penned in the same flowing script, was the title of the next entry. And though Charlie hadn't taken French since high school, he understood enough of the title to chill his blood. Un volière diabolique. The diabolical cage. And let's take a look at the new logo that Michael has designed for us. I love it. And I think it's time for us to come back with our brand new graphic design. We will be seeing you next time in Mage the Ascension the Victorian Age Book 2, The Diabolical Cage. We hope that you've enjoyed this adventure with us. How are you all doing?
Not Teddy.
No.
I was prepared to be
was
mentally wrecked for
crying.
Evelyn, but not because of Teddy.
I cried during that whole fiction.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Teddy will return.
I'm sure.
Will he still be Teddy is a very
He's gonna return in.
Teddy.
question.
Yes,
Yeah,
Teddy.
Mm. Oh, Chastity is not okay.
Well,
Oh
we made it through.
man.
Did Amelia make it through?
Amelia made it through?
Okay.
Oh man.
Aw.
Wow.
So, big thank you to Michael for designing these new lovely frames and for cleaning up the logo I made. His is way more French. So book 2 is going to take place largely in France. It's going to be a shorter season, but a much more emotionally damaging season in many ways.
Yay!
In many ways. All right, so folks, before we wrap, I believe it is time to give out some experience points. So first of all, I am going to be granting you each 5 XP, and that is including the chat XP.
Nice.
Nice.
So 5 more XP. I will be running Seekings in the downtime.
Yay!
And the beautiful thing about that was Teddy dropped the effect, and there was a contingent effect. In effect, Bathgate had an effect on that was if Darcie gets more than 100 feet from me, I will immediately move next to her with a time effect on.
Oh motherfucker. Oh.
Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, someone has just bought you another XP, so that is going to be 6 XP.
Thanks, Randall.
Wonderful.
Good job.
Thank you. I'm excited for my seeking.
I can't wait to have my seeking. Because I have 73 XP to spend. And I'm waiting to get the seeking to choose.
Oh, see, I've already like took out the XP for the seeking and for life 4. So
I've paid for the
now
seeking
wouldn't-
already.
Oh shit!
Because I paid for that months ago.
Yeah, you're just sitting on all of your accumulated experience.
I'm sitting
to
on
drop into
accumulating it so that
Yeah.
I can pay for what I want all at once and make a bunch of like character decisions all at once.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of XP this chronicle, like
Yeah.
over the whole thing. And if you've only spent for the seeking,
Yeah.
which I spent for seeking and forces 4, so I'm a little lower, but
Yeah,
yeah,
you should be around like 50 or so, right?
45.
Yeah,
By
this was
my
like it was
math.
around there.
Yeah.
So we're going to be back. We're going to take a couple weeks off to prepare for the next one. I got to run some seekings, and we have a bunch of additional stuff happening. We are going to come back for a book 2 chat on the 25th. Is that what we're doing? Is that
I
right?
can't remember what we decided.
I can't
'cause-
remember. It'll
Oh,
be on
I
the
think
schedule.
it's yeah, we're doing a preamble. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a review session,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, so we'll do a review session. I will be posting the seekings. We're going to have those recorded. Chastity, you can buy a seeking if you want to.
I already bought one, but I'm
did
in
you?
no rush for it. Yeah, I bought it like 2 games ago in game 16. I
Mhm.
dropped for it, but I am happy to sit and wait until like after book 2 even. Like it's not
You might need
critical.
the thing about book 2 is going to be very interesting, I think.
okay.
it
So
is-
maybe sometime in book 2 it might be relevant.
I think
something.
so. Book 2 is going to be even harder than this one. And book 3 is just an action epic, so enjoy and don't blow everything up, because if you do, everybody dies. So
Yeah, I think I bought mine back
Yeah.
in session 12, so that was October 15th is when I bought
yeah,
it.
because this game has had some slow bits. You guys have a fun time?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yes.
That was really great.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna wear for next season. I need a
I
costume
have a
change.
new shirt.
Yeah,
I
me
got one
too.
too,
Yep,
yeah.
I bought my Seeking in session after chapter 9, and then I bought Life 4 after chapter 14. So whatever the chapter 9
I have a very
was,
French shirt for
that's how long it's been.
this game. But I'm gonna have to refresh my wig
Mm-hmm.
because I need to be a little
Yeah.
more into mad science.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick a new hairstyle for Josie.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick a new
I've had
hairstyle
bits
because
keep
the
coming out.
back keeps falling off like this. Like it just like I have to constantly be tucking this up during game. Yeah, I don't know if you ever like if the chat ever notices I'm constantly like trying to push bits back into the braid. So I'm gonna redo the hairstyle so it's not
Yeah,
annoying.
I'm gonna have to
Things
tweak
you learn.
Cassie's hairstyle too. I
Yeah,
think.
I'm gonna pull some more
getting a hat?
curls
Or
out.
who had a hat?
I was talking about getting a hat, but I haven't found one I like.
Okay. Robin has a fascinator,
yeah.
but it blends in with the green screen.
Oh, actually, that works really well. That's very French.
You know what? I was so caught up in that I forgot to just switch us over to France. I should put us in France right now. Oh, I can't put us in France right now because I did that in the mainframe. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Just gonna cut that out completely. Folks, that's gonna be it for the game tonight. Do you guys want to have a little chat session, a little debrief for the first book?
Sure,
Yeah,
I have
I mean,
a
yeah.
quick break though. I think. If
All
we
right,
do
Yes.
that.
Folks, we're going to take a 5-minute bathroom break. Don't go anywhere, and then we're going to chat a little bit about what happened. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the chat, and we'll get to them. Also, for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you so much for all of your support. Quick reminder before we go on break, though, that if you like what we do here, you can get tons more of this at patreon.com/dorktales, where you get games that are ran by Jen, by Robin. If we get enough people, soon we're going to have a Star Trek game. It's a great place to be, and it includes a Hunter the Vigil game that I run for Robin, Kel, and Trizelta. That is...
Also, don't forget Strixhaven from Krista.
And Strixhaven. Oh my god. I was thinking, like, who else am I missing here? And of course, Strixhaven. Yeah, which is on Monday this week. So we'll be back in just a minute, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're back. Hey, everybody. We de-wigged,
Hello.
and I took off my cravat. So,
I took
so hi, folks. How's it going? Just to confirm a couple of things, we are back on April 15th. We're taking a month off from Mage so that I can do prep, because I have to actually do a lot of reading. I don't know as much about France as I know about England during this time period, and there are certain things that I have to research from certain books that are right next to me. And I have to talk to some people on onyxpath who might know some things too.
Ooh. Concern.
Yeah.
Exciting.
And it was
Concern.
due to the upcoming Mage schedule and my personal schedule. It was easier to have the recap on the 15th.
Yeah, so we're doing a recap game on the 15th because Jen's out of the city for a while, and it just kind of doesn't really work out for us because you got many busies.
So many busies. It's all the busies.
All right, so during the break, Robin, you were saying to me that you had been preparing because you wanted to have like a funeral for Mai.
Potentially, you had potentially asked like what we had wanted for this episode other than just like surviving. And I was like, if it gets to the point, like if we're gonna do like some sort of like outros for the book or anything, I think you did a wonderful job how you did it, and I'm really happy how you ended this book. But I was like, okay, if there's some sort of like farewell ceremony or something for Mai, Darcie would recite a very famous Irish blessing, and I had been practicing for 45 minutes, just to say the first line in Gaelic, because I was trying to do the other ones, and I was like, I need like days and days.
Do you want to
prep
try it on camera right now?
Yeah.
Just to say it.
Yeah. Nari on Baha Liat. Which is, may the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rains fall softly upon your fields. Until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand is the full poem.
Nice.
So, Robin, have you heard the
Yeah?
sung version of that?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Okay, because
Well,
it makes me cry.
We can't play
We
that on
can't,
video, but
but,
send her a link.
I'll go listen to it and I'll cry.
As a counterpoint to you, I had prepared something as well. If I had a moment to do a serial killer approach toward you, I had prepared this as an alternate reveal. So I need you to picture Macduff, big, bearded, Scotsman, Bathgate, for real, approaching Darcie or doing something fairly creepy with, I'd sell my rock, I'd sell my reel, to buy my love a sword of steel. Is good day fu of Orinsla, shul shularoon. Which is the song that her mother used to sing to her as a child, if you remember correctly.
Yup.
Shularoon.
Yup. Oh, I remember. You. I'm broken. Move along.
Just to give Robin a second here. And Kelly, during the break, you also gave me the good news, the something good.
Oh, yes, you're right. I spent the last something good happens. Josephine was not looking, but Octavius crawled into her backpack, or bag, so.
Sandy Mood bottles. It's good.
Nice.
Made it.
Also, everybody here needs to go watch the Vagabond Jewel episode of Extra Life, because then you get to meet all the technocrats that are like Christine, Amy, and Robin in drag, and it's real funny.
I was really proud of my beard and mustache that I drew on.
Right.
You look like your brother.
Me too.
Like you look.
It was
like
kind of weird. It did.
It was really weird. It's really weird whenever we do face swaps. Like, it's the weirdest thing. We've done face swaps with me, with like Face App, and Christine and Robin. Christine looks like her brother, Robin looks like her dad, and I look like a really hot girl. It's weird. I feel like I missed the boat on that. I mean, I might, but I'm not Girl Kelly. Girl Kelly is like, mwah.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of me doing
Whereas
that.
like boy Christine is ugh.
She's okay.
Like my brother,
depends on the photo.
I'm similar to my brother, but my brother is much better looking than that.
All right. So if
Yeah,
anybody has any
that
questions or
is-
comments about the game, let's talk about them right now. Did you guys have an okay night? Was it fun? Pardon me. Was it fun?
Mhm.
It was an okay night. Oh, it was amazing, Kelly.
Thank you.
It was so good. I love
was
Mage
so
Nights,
good.
and this was
That's very,
fantastic.
very, very-
I didn't know how you were going to like up the tension or how this was going to play out after the end of last episode. I was like, what happens? And my butthole was puckered the entire time, guys.
Just
it
like
was
I
a
like 'em.
puckering experience. Just
So
like, are we gonna die? Like, I thought one of us was gonna like get incapacitated at some point. Like, it was insane.
once again, having prep time makes mages very resilient, which is why Bathgate, well, the devil survived in some fashion. You still beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, foiled his plans.
Yup.
Curses.
Yup. Darcy's
Thoroughly
not
foiled.
being used as a vessel for the Antichrist. You know, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a win.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I'm so glad that last game I remembered sympathetic connections and that Darcie left her book.
Yep.
It's.
Yep.
I was real lucky.
Right. that was very lucky that because I was like, Darcie wouldn't bring her book, like, and much as that
Giant book in the middle of the theater.
Yeah. Do don't mind me and my mother's book of shadows. It's fine.
I'm gonna go on this. A huge nerd. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and for the chat, the best part about my character for the Vagabond Jewel was I borrowed Kelly's wig that happened to be the exact same color as Evelyn's. So it was like male Evelyn I was playing, basically.
Melvin.
Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Oh, that's good.
So folks, I hope you enjoyed tonight. Next episode is going to be in about a month and change. Book 2 is going to be similarly psychologically damaging. But right now I see Mage running for either 4 or 5 books total, as long as we maintain interest. Book 3 is the one I'm really biting my nails for. I really want it because it's so that one's just for me. And then there's definitely going to be a cowboy arc. No, that's not Old West. Cowboy arc.
It's not.
I want the Old West cowboy arc because I've been watching the English, and
That's fair.
I really want to like basically kind of like mimic that character just a little bit.
See, I just want an excuse to like, I don't know, dress like, get like a saloon look or something, or like look, shooting pew pew pew.
I'll tell the chat gets to be surprised in 6 months, but I'll just put it in our private chat. That's what I'm excited for. Oh, that's on, not of.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you know what authors from this era I like. So I am very excited for that. And Jen is going to reach... Jen is going to achieve certain levels of fan pleasure from that book, I can tell. I don't want to claim that it'll be orgiastic, but it might be. Like, you are going to have an existential experience in that
So
one.
I'm going to need to understand all of the mage lore from you guys. I'll start asking lots of questions.
I think that you will have to understand so much World of Darkness for that to work, and that's all I'm going to say. Which, depending on side project number 22, if that gets off the ground,
Oh, I know what side project 22 is.
Yeah, it's the really... Jen knows it. It's the really long-winded one that we've considered. But I don't know, because I don't know. It's a lot of work. But thanks for tuning in. If you want more World of Darkness content, or Chronicles of Darkness content, or Dark content, let us know. We do a lot of D&D here because a lot of people watch D&D and a lot of people like watching D&D. But it has been an honor and a privilege running The Devil and the Doves for you, because I have seen so many D&D players trust us enough to watch this stream and get into Mage and start getting into the World of Darkness and think, this is kind of cool. I might feel comfortable stretching outside of the bounds of what I normally play, because D&D is a very safe system, and there's nothing wrong with loving it. I love D&D. I love a fantasy romp. I actually was very, as a World of Darkness player from day one, I was really impressed by how much 5e won me over. So there's nothing wrong with that. But it's always good to try new things. And Mage the Ascension is one of the best role-playing games, if not the best role-playing game that I've ever played. It is my favorite. And it has so much heart in it, and for a World of the Darkness game, that's a lot. But if you're ever looking for other games to try, or want us to try new games out, let us know. If we have the free time, I'm always willing to try, because thank you, I appreciate it. Dracula, yeah, I mean, if you want to see Dracula, you should definitely go over to Tabletop Titties and watch their stream where I was Dracula for 2 episodes. It was great.
Why, Automod? Why? Ryu. It didn't like Ryu.
Raven.
Thank you for I know this is like a break between books, but like, thank you for inviting me on as the newbie mage for this, because I had never played anything other than like D&D in a campaign setting for like a long-term thing, and so this was a lot of fun. And mage is my favorite system. Like,
The only
it
thing I
beats
like
D&D.
more, the only thing I like more than mage fanatics are people who have never played mage.
It's true.
There
Yeah.
is something tremendously magical about opening up a new player's mind to mage. And because it's always the same topic, it's always the same conversation of like, well, I guess I'll like turn their blood to acid. And you're like, yeah, I guess you could. Or you could drop the chandelier on their head and they die the same way and you take no paradox. And watching the player just go click and go, oh. And it's such a cool thing to do and to explain the world and the lore and to get more people addicted. I guess I'm a pusher. It worked on all of you though.
Mage is the drug, and I am so addicted to it.
Jen, are you in a place to announce that thing that you mentioned in the chat, in our private chat?
Almost. Well, I mean, we can talk about it. I'm almost through editing the first episode.
Since this is the final episode of Devil and the Doves, do you feel comfortable sharing that?
I mean, we've already talked about it in previous streams.
Okay.
So,
well, might as well double announce it. So besides running our Technocracy game on our Patreon, where we're 2 episodes in, last episode we're starting to get somewhere crazy with it, which is really good for me. But we've got 3. Do we have an episode 0 for that? We had a session 0. So that means there are 4 total episodes of the Technocracy game, including the pilot. But Jen, on top of that, is also doing
Mage the Ascension podcast called Paradox, a Mage the Ascension podcast, because of course it is, because it's me. I am about halfway through editing episode 1. Episode 2 is already edited because it's a much shorter episode, but getting through, I'm hoping to actually have episode 1 edited this weekend, so we'll see if that comes out soon.
Nice. It's going to be great. I'm always tempted.
I'm super excited to listen to that, because I am a new person to World of Darkness and to Mage, and I'm still learning. So having and Jen, and is it the 2 of you or is it just Jen
on the big episodes?
So what I'm doing is I'm splitting it into kind of big long episodes where it's myself and Kelly just riffing on Mage and talking about the big topics like the meta plot, like lore, like spheres, all of this sort of thing. And then I'm interspersing that with shorter episodes with just myself, kind of trying to go over some of the mechanics and some of the smaller bits where it's to help bring people into the game if they want, make it easier to understand, that sort of thing.
What I was finishing to say, I was just like, both of you explain and talk about Mage in such a very approaching and like very informative and easy to learn way. So it'll be good to hear from to both of you, because you both are great at explaining things in Mage, and I've come to both of you for help with working some things out, because it's just like, there's so many rules, but there's no rules, but there's so many rules. It's great.
There's so many rules, but there are no rules. That's Mage, right? I mean, that's reality in general, right? I'm always tempted to run more Mage stuff. I've been toying around with the idea of running a late 90s pre-Avatar Storm Mage game for a while. I've also been toying around with the idea of running a modern Technocracy game that's like boots on the ground Technocracy, unlike Jen's. Go watch it, join the Patreon. Technocracy game. And I keep playing around with it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It could be cool. I think I might run a Mage game for Extra Life this year. I might do another one for that. That could be fun.
Do it. I really liked the little stint that you were on. Where you were playing the 80s.
Oh yeah, over on McStabber Studios, where I was playing underneath Ravnos Archon. Ravnos Archon is another guy who runs a lot of Mage. So if you're looking for more Mage content, by the way, some of our friends over at McStabber Studio, a guy named Ravnos Archon runs a Mage the Ascension Chronicle set in the 1980s, and I was lucky enough to be in the first season of that, but my schedule just doesn't align. They're mostly on the East Coast, so it doesn't work. It's a great game. Actually, I was there with our friend Otheon, and it was a good season. You should go check it out. Besides the fact that I'm playing Don Johnson with a Coke habit, it's a lot of fun, and it's a really cool game. Ravnos Archon is a really cool guy, and despite liking Ravnos that much, surprising, right? But super cool. Super cool guy, good show, and good people over on McStabber Studios. And you can find them on Twitch, and I think the episodes are up on YouTube probably. And our private chat right now is just blowing up with Jen talking about how much she wants to play a grunge punk Mage game set in the late 90s. Man, I went to a Hot Topic a couple weeks ago, and I had flashbacks to the late 90s. And I was like,
Spencer's Gifts.
It's Spencer's Gifts, right? Now. It's Spencer's Gifts. And I'm looking around and I'm like, I remember when they used to sell Johnny the Homicidal Maniac single issues, and they used to play Orgy, and I picked up a disc of my first industrial techno mix there. It was just 12 random tracks of like, like that kind of industrial music, and I miss it. I miss that goth vibe so much, because I'm a sheltered dude from like I spent my teenage years in the middle of Missouri in a 2,000 person town, and started shipping myself out to coasts for conventions, and met up with a bunch of friends in like Washington State, and started getting dragged to the malls up there, and it was a revelation. It was a revelation. I love grunge punk. Yeah. Well, I might make that 90s game happen sometime. It would be a short run.
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, fully expect that to be a short one. But I grew up in small town BC, not quite as small as that, but not a lot of ways to escape either. So I didn't really hit the late, actually, and there was always the joke that Canada got culture about 10 years after the States.
10 years out.
And then my town got it 10 years after Canada did.
Yeah.
So in the early 2000s, I was like, yes, 90s.
Right?
That's funny. I miss it. So yeah, maybe I'll run a HoloOnes game. We'll all buy some coal. We'll all get some onks. Onks.
Do you just mean raid my stash?
That's fair. I've got a bunch of free music that's like because that is one thing. It's really hard to find music online, like music with lyrics, unless you like are on any paid services. And I've got a lot of like D&D music, but I don't have much normal modern music, which is why a lot of the stuff we use for Victorian Age is so perfect, because it's symphonic. It's very easy. But one thing you can find is Creative Commons industrial goth music. In fact, Incubus Succubus has some free Creative Commons songs for themselves even. Ooh. Yeah, I know, Incubus Succubus. I never use them because I'm sure their studio will put a copyright claim out regardless of their CC, and it's just not worth the trouble, right? But I would love just to... Oh God, I really wish we could just like put some Gravity Kills on and just... some of the Cure. The Cure doesn't even remember that they did Burn, so I don't know why we can't use that from the Crow soundtrack. Robin, did I show you the Cure? Or no, did I show you the Crow? I did, right? Okay, good.
It was so good.
She's a baby. She doesn't know about the Crow.
So I still have the soundtracks you put out for the Mage LARPs in the 2000s. Those are filled with some nostalgia music.
They're really good soundtracks. I need to do that. I need to make more Spotify playlists or something like that, like something easy, or like a YouTube playlist of just character songs. But
I mean, it's what I've done for Zero Sum. I have an inspiration playlist. I don't have any character songs yet, but I do have an inspiration playlist that I love.
That's fair. I have a playlist for, I think I have a publicly shared Spotify one for our D&D homebrew world. So, but I don't think I have one for World of Darkness stuff. Although it's pretty easy to find World of Darkness, like World of Darkness playlists online. In fact, I found some pretty cool music just looking up Mage playlists before, because I wasn't really that a couple of bands that I wasn't really sure about. Oh no!
I have to make a new one for Darcie. I have to make a new one now.
Yeah, I have to make a new Josie one too.
The chat is now getting into a fist fight.
I think I've gotten into a rough French style for my wig now.
Very nice.
There we go. Boom.
Very nice.
I got 2, 4,
Bonjour.
6, 7 extra bobby pins now that we're not holding this all up.
Woo! Look at that.
I just need to, I think, reset these curls with rollers. Get them set up tighter so they're a little loose at the bottom.
So, folks, we have a bunch of great stuff coming up soon. I hope you tune into it. For one, over on the Patreon right now is Hunter the Vigil Summons, which is a very different type of Hunter the Vigil game that you have probably never seen before. I don't want to spoil the surprise before public release, but if you join the Patreon at the $5 tier, you can watch it right now. Otherwise, it's going to come out in June. So it's actually a good summer game. So if you want to wait, that's totally fine. If you want to join the Patreon, you'll also gain access to Mage the Ascension, Technocracy Zero Sum, which is a once-a-month game. This Sunday, Robin is running Passions de las Passions, which I have to go finish the overlays for tonight. After
I have to figure out what I'm wearing tomorrow.
Also, for a notice for that game. So one, it's going to start at 6:30 p.m.
6:30
Pacific Standard Time. Also, for those that aren't still in or who have gone into the modern age and aren't following archaic time, we are skipping forward ahead an hour tonight.
Yeah,
so
daylight
if
savings
you
time
are,
for North America tonight. So sorry.
So
about
we'll
that.
be
check
an
what your
hour
PDT time
earlier.
is.
Yeah, so we'll probably be an hour.
No, I
earlier,
have to change
think,
all the
than
stuff
what
to
we normally do.
PDT.
Yep.
Ugh. PST
So
works so much
we will put I'll put an announcement in the like Patreon feed on our Discord to just remind people, like, we'll be live in 30 minutes kind of thing. Just because it's a weird time and I'm gonna like lose an hour of sleep tonight. And I'm not.
It's a weird
happy
time,
about it.
and the schedule has said 7 since it was at 7, and
Yes.
Yeah.
it
Oh, I
hasn't
thought I
gotten
changed it.
so.
Did I not? Okay.
Well,
Oh, I did.
Honestly,
None of the
Kelly,
last
you don't
one I
have to
saw.
change from PST to PDT all that much, really, because you know what? When people Google it, it will auto change it.
It's true.
I don't remember which one's which. I just ever Google PST and it
Yeah,
automatically
I
gives me time zone
Google-
calculator.
Should I just change it on our visual
specific-
schedule to PT?
Yeah, Pacific time.
Pacific time.
Basically.
Do people get what
It's
that is?
specifically tonight. If people aren't aware that there's daylight
Yeah.
savings, then it's like
It happens
We need
at
to-
like 1 a.m. this morning. Or this
Yeah.
2
coming
a.m.
morning.
and I'll probably be awake for it, so it'll be suddenly 3 and I'll be late for bed by 3 hours.
Oh, that sounds like me. Mood. So tomorrow, we also have, on top of that, we have Spelljammer at noon Pacific, which is our march to the end of Spelljammer, which I'm very excited for, because then when Spelljammer's over, we're starting a brand new homebrew D&D game set in the lands of Arcos. We're going to have a session 0. We're going to have an episode where we do a little bit of map creation, and then we're going to dive into it. It's going to be a bi-weekly game on Sundays at noon that has a phenomenal cast, including Amy, Robin, Kel, Millie, and Traz.
Which is good that we're doing a couple non-costume games, because I ordered my costume piece, one of my costume pieces, months ago, and it's still not arrived yet. And I'm
I
just
have
like
to run
looking
through each of you and figure out which toga I'm buying, because I haven't bought my toga yet. I need
I'm
some
just
with a
waiting
big
for my
neckline.
freaking piece of
So I
fabric.
could just,
It's
I
just
can
like
just
I-
tech pop the entire time. Just
I should have just gone to like Fabricland and got this piece of fabric.
That's true.
But hey, I ordered it cheap online and it's still fucking not here.
yeah, that's life. So
Mhm.
folks, that's what we have coming up, as well as our game for Virtual GaryCon that we're going to be running, our streaming for Survivors. Which is going to be ridiculous. I've seen those games. And then is there anything else new coming up? there's a lot of cool stuff in development for June and for November. And if people are interested, this is a finale game. So I will say that if people are really interested in the Phandelver Chronicle, or Phandelver Campaign, I should say, which is the new module that's dropping in early autumn, late summer from WotC, let us know. We're weighing our options on it. Although I didn't get invited to the symposium, so meh.
Aw, they weren't trying to bribe you.
They weren't trying. Oh.
I mean, that's what it is.
It's an opinion. That is your opinion. That is your opinion.
Okay, well, inviting a bunch of influencers to a thing where you wine and dine them is basically trying to bribe them for a better opinion. After you fucked up.
Which I'm just saying legally is your opinion and not a statement from the channel. It is your opinion, but it's probably that. Yeah. As my opinion.
Okay.
All right. So, but let us know. All right. So, folks, that is going to be probably it for us. Can we go to a page that has old episodes? Yeah, it's called YouTube. We have everything is back on our YouTube. And a lot of stuff is going. Our website's almost done, actually. Jen has been working on it. We also have a very extensive wiki ran by our wiki lords. So if you have no idea what's going on, go to Dork Tales Wiki. If you just type Dork Tales Wiki into Google, you are going to be able to find our actually pretty sizable wiki. And we've got, how many episodes do we have on our YouTube right now? We just pulled it up. Like the other day.
673 last time I looked.
Oh, only 700 YouTube videos? Well, there we go. Yeah, so there's tons of back catalog. There's even more if you join the Patreon, which once again, I have to thank you, all of you who are on the Patreon. So folks, that's going to be it for us tonight. I think we're kind of drained from the emotion of tonight. But I just want to thank you all for being here and joining us on this adventure. It has been a fantastic time, and I hope you had a good time because we had a great time with you. As always, I have to thank some of the people that make this possible because Dork Tales is a full-time gig. This is my full-time job, and the people on Patreon make that happen. And also big thank you to everybody who subscribes here on Twitch. For those of you watching on YouTube, let me know about memberships and whether or not you think they're worth it, because that could be a great way to give you guys some more posting powers and stuff like that. But as for Patreon, I have to thank, in particular, some of our amazing patrons. At the very top of the list, I have to thank my world builder, Soul Omen, the maker of monsters, who is designing a bunch of stuff for our Shards of Nirn homebrew game, to my mom, Jan, and my stepdad, my divine producers. Thank you so much for all of your love and support and for the whole life thing. That's been good so far, for the most part. To Precarious, my demonic producer. Thank you, Funko Marty. I really appreciate your love and support. Tammy, the Forever Cleric, the Wizard of the Patreon. You are rad. She is amazing and is responsible for some of the spells in our Patreon Discord that have been written specifically for her. And finally, to the High Council of the Patreon, I must welcome a brand new member, Mike Baxter, who was formerly one of the very important Patreons and has joined the High Council. But I also need to thank Sorcerer Sanguine, Larouk, Chef Eladeth, Sergio, Drew Thompson, Karasha Urquhart, Raven with Baubles, who is being stalked by Automod in our chat right now, The Traveler, Amberthist, Cubby Gummy, Trizelta, Dustin, and Taryn. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. It means the world to us, and it means the world to me. Couldn't do this without you. And also, finally, thank you to our sponsor for the night, Bookwyrm Games. Once again, Bookwyrm Games has some of the best prices on dice that you can find. They're a Canadian-ran business out of the Vancouver area that have fantastic selection, all restocked. And if you use code DorkTales2023, you'll save 10%. That includes those spinny liquid core dice that the players are holding up right now. They are going to have some World of Darkness or compatible D10 sets in April, from the sound of it, maybe. Wink.
They
And
were saying that they're going to be gem sets.
holy shit, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, they
Tuesday,
might
10
they might have worked out gemstone sets, and it's
I'm
like,
I'm kind of hoping for the agate ones because they're really nice.
mm-hmm.
I might spend $100 on that.
All right. That would be pretty rad. So yeah, that's gonna be it from us. Thank you so much for tuning in. And go visit Bookwyrm Games. Use our code, and if you spend more than $100 on gemstone D10s, shipping's free, which is pretty great. That's gonna be it from us tonight. Stay well, and don't botch any Arete rolls, or Arete rolls, I should say. See you next time.
Oh God, no.
Book 2. Bye.